All right, we have the amazing, the wonderful Kelly Gomez here. Kelly, thank you for hanging out with us today.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you
Yeah.
for bringing me in.
Yeah, Kelly is an Airbnb extraordinaire. I met Kelly, I want to say 4 years ago when you were just starting out, and to see how much you've grown in just 4 years. Before we get into the how, I want to know the why. Why do you choose to get into Airbnb investing?
Sure.
Yeah.
First, it's a pleasure to be here
Yeah.
again. Not just with you, but with Empire. I
Hmm.
also seen you guys' growth, and it's been
Thank you.
beautiful to see all of the trajectory.
Hmm.
And regarding your question, why? I moved here originally when I was 19 years old. I come from Colombia. And growing up in a third world country, I saw that there is a lot of a struggle to actually find an opportunity.
Hmm.
And growing up, ever since I was very little, I wanted to leave my country. And originally, I wanted to go to Canada actually, because I saw that there was a lack of opportunity in my country. Moving forward, I came to the US and I came with the dream of achieving the American dream.
Yeah.
I wanted to become financially free,
Hmm.
and real estate came as an opportunity right at the beginning of my movement here. And I jumped right into it. And at the beginning, I started just selling houses,
Hmm.
so representing buyers and sellers like any realtor. But I saw that the most efficient in order for me to actually grow the fastest was going to be investing in the actual product,
Hmm.
becoming the product. And that's why I started investing in Airbnb.
That's amazing. So you saw the vision, you saw the opportunity. How did you do it? How did you acquire the first home?
So the first one is a very interesting
Hmm.
story actually, and this brings back my business partner, who you also know, Andres Ospina.
Yep.
So he actually had bought his first primary residence,
Mm.
and the way he did it was through a FHA loan,
Hmm.
normal FHA loan, 3.5% down payment. It was a primary residence. And in order to qualify for it, since he was a realtor, we were both working in real estate, we didn't have the 2 years
Hmm.
for to be able to finance it. So his mom, my mother-in-law, actually, she was the one that helped us
Oh, wow.
with financing of that first property. So we got that first property. It was 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, with a one-car garage. The mortgage of the property back then, this is 2016, 8 years ago, the mortgage was about like $1,200. And so what we did was we converted that one-car garage. It was like 250 square feet,
Hmm.
turned it into a studio with a small kitchenette, private entrance, a full bathroom, and just the studio itself was generating about 2,000
Wow.
gross monthly, and our mortgage was only 1,200.
Mm.
So then we had 3 bedrooms. We were living in the master bedroom and renting out the other 2 bedrooms, and each of them was generating about 1,000 a month. So we had 4,000 total as gross, and then our expenses were about around 2,500 because
Wow.
mortgage plus electricity,
Hmm.
utilities, and all of it. So
Wow.
that first property, we saw like, oh my God, okay, we're
Yeah.
paying up our mortgage,
Uh-huh.
we're generating money,
Hmm.
and we're still living in the property. What if we do more and we multiply this?
Yeah. So you started the American dream basically with a gift for an FHA loan at 3.5% down.
Exactly.
So very cool. So a little patience and some hard work. Did you do the
Yes.
renovations yourself?
No, we
Okay.
hire subcontractors, but we
Okay.
did act it as the GC.
Oh,
So
okay.
we saved some money on
Yeah.
that, going straight to the contractors.
So I know they say buying houses are almost like tattoos or addictive, right? So
It is.
at what point were you like, okay, I like doing this. I can handle the tenant. I like this whole business model. At what point were you deciding to scale it up and start acquiring more properties?
That was about maybe about a year and a half into it. Yes, that was 2016 was our first one. We only focused on that one for about
Mm-hmm.
a year. Then we bought a second property in 2017. We opened up our own brokerage, so we're more focusing on growing the real estate side of it. But towards the end of it, so about 2 years into it, 5 properties
Wow.
into it,
Yeah.
we realized that it was actually something that we were systematizing it,
Mm-hmm.
and we found that the possibilities of growth was much easier than we thought actually because of what we were already doing. So it was about that 5 properties into 2 years afterwards. That's when we decided to. I remember it was actually at a point where we found these deals in
Mm-hmm.
the land Deltona,
Yeah.
and we bought 3 houses for $100,000.
Wow.
and of course they needed a lot of work.
Uh-huh.
But I remember that when we saw the opportunity, was the three houses they needed to be. Of course, it was like off market. You need to close in a week, cash.
Yeah.
I didn't have the money for it,
Mm-hmm.
honestly. But we saw the opportunity, and it was like, this is amazing. The numbers are great. The
Yep.
ROI is going to be amazing. Let's get under contract and let's find the money somehow.
Uh-huh.
And somehow just started just reaching out to clients,
Uh-huh.
and the clients that we already had then it started to become our bank because they
private
wanted
funding,
to,
yeah.
yes, private
Very
funding.
nice. Great. So are you guys managing the tenants yourself as well?
Yes.
Ooh, okay.
Yes,
So is that a headache?
it is a headache, honestly. It's not the most enjoyable
Yeah, it's
process.
probably tough.
Honestly, yeah. So I created a property management company.
Oh, okay.
At the beginning, I was actually the one in charge of the communication.
Wow.
About maybe 5 Airbnbs or so. I was the one that was controlling communication and all of that. But it gets to the point where it's just too much. So what we did is we hired a couple cleaning no, one like not a cleaning company, but we just go straight to the person. So we hire a couple cleaning person, and then we have a connection with the electrician, with the plumber, with everybody else, and then plus we have a VA team, and this is mainly how it's actually run.
Okay.
There is about 10 people, and most of them live out of the state. They're in Colombia, Venezuela, Argentina, and all of them are the ones that are constantly right now managing everything.
So that's awesome. That seems like a lot of work went into
It is
building that.
it's a lot of detail into, and
Yeah.
yes.
Well, you've clearly done a good job. So I know when you say you're living the American dream, it is the American dream. It sounds fun, but there's definitely times when it's not fun.
For sure.
So tell me a story about a time where just one of these tenants drove you crazy, where you're just shocked and said, I never expected this.
Like, I don't want to do this
Yeah,
anymore.
like almost made you question everything you're doing.
First thing that comes to my mind is one of the funniest ones.
Okay, good.
And that's probably what I laugh the most. And I don't know if we're gonna have this or not.
No,
Maybe
it's raw. Fine. It's fine. They'll see
I
it.
walk into a room, and it was like 1 hour past the checkout time. I'm expecting nobody there. I come inside through the inside. So as I open up, there's the bedroom right in front of me. There was supposed to be one reservation of only one man. As I see, there's 3 men literally naked having sex at the same time. Literally. And I walk into this, and I'm like, oh my God. And they all stopped and looked at me like, what the heck?
Did they stop, or did
They stopped,
Okay.
and they looked at me. And I said, I'm so sorry. And I slammed the door.
They
and
should
I
have apologized to
ran.
you. They're supposed to be checking out. Yeah. Interesting.
It was funny.
Yeah. Well,
Yes.
things you don't
A little
expect when you're.
traumatizing.
Yeah. That's awesome. I didn't expect that story. I thought it was going to be like a cat stuff.
But there was another crazy one
Tell
as
me.
well. While COVID was happening, and we had the curfew, so we couldn't go outside after 10 p.m. We get a call, and there's a couple policemen in one of our Airbnbs. We couldn't even go because we couldn't drive.
Yeah.
But what happened was somebody got overdose of something and died. And they actually died there.
No way.
And the ambulance came, and they tried to reanimate, I
Yeah.
guess. And sadly, it didn't work. And
That's got to be kind of shaking, right? That somebody died in your property.
yes.
Yeah.
And the craziest part was this. It was something really weird. The woman that was with him was a couple. The guy died. The woman remained there. 3 days afterward, the same thing happened with another man, of course.
Oh, no way.
And so something
haunted,
weird
Kelly.
that she was doing,
Yeah.
and we pretty much took her out of prison.
Wow.
And she had to leave.
That's crazy.
Yes.
So those are real problems. Yeah, that's
Real
not
things.
what you imagined. Wow. So tell me a little bit about how you choose where you want to buy. Is it always the same area? Do you spread out? Do you vet just the best ROI? How are you kind of narrowing down where you want to buy your next property?
So right now, since I already have a portfolio, where I look the most is something close to where I already live,
Okay.
right? So closer to downtown Orlando, 3206, 3203, 25, 01. And I mainly look for properties that have no HOA. That's number one. Properties that have either garage or carports.
Okay.
Properties that are in corner lots. Those
Okay.
are amazing. And the weirdest the layout is, the better. So usually the properties that nobody wants,
Okay.
those are the ones I want to buy.
How come?
Because when I look at it, then instead of looking at it of one house, I'm gonna look at the weird floor plan and find out a way to divide this property
Okay.
into,
Close off walls and
yes,
stuff?
close a wall, make new walls, add kitchenettes, bathrooms, private entrance, and turn it into a multifamily.
Okay. That's a good idea.
House hacking.
Yeah, that's cool. All right.
And that's mainly where it actually
Yeah.
works out. Like the way we've been able to scale, it's because of that. So right now I have 75 Airbnbs, but it's not technically
75 Airbnbs?
Yes.
Holy shit, Kelly.
It's a lot of
Yeah.
work, but the 75, it's not 75 houses, it's actually 75 units.
Units.
So some of them are studios, anywhere up to 5-bedroom houses, everything in between.
So you're managing 75 Airbnbs.
Yes.
When are you tapped? When is enough for you?
I don't have a limit yet.
Oh my
I want to
goodness.
get to the thousands.
Yeah? All right.
Yes, of
Okay.
units. Yes, and I want to get to the billions in net worth.
That is a big goal. I hope you get it. I think you can.
Thank you, I will.
Okay, so when you're renovating these fun houses, right? Some people get kind of lost in the design to it. How do you manage being cost efficient while still making it look nice? Like, where's that threshold? Are you doing that yourself?
So yes, that's one
Okay.
of the parts that I enjoy the most. Actually, I do like
Good.
designing.
Yeah.
So I spend most of my time in there, and usually what I look is, instead, when we look at the property in itself, instead of handling the project to a GC, I want to be a part of it, and I want to be the project manager myself.
Okay. Is that your
And I
favorite
wanna-
part?
Not the favorite,
Okay.
honestly, no. It's one of the most difficult, but this is where the cost efficient comes in.
Okay.
Because when you're actually just taking the middleman, which is the GC, you're just saving it. He's one of the ones that pretty much will make the majority of the profit in the transaction. So making sure that you have the right connections with everybody that's in the middle of the profit, the roofer, the foundation guy, the electricity, the plumber, everything. And also the places where you're getting your supplies, always making sure that, like, at least for me, I need to create a good relationship with the providers. So let's say Lowe's and Home Depot,
Okay.
the two biggest ones here, creating a good relationship with them. I have a pro account where they give me a lot of discounts. And
Oh, great.
it's
Okay.
according to, they have some guidelines according to how much you spend a year. And I believe it starts at like 100,000 a year. And if you spend more than that, they give you like 30%, sometimes 40% discount, which in big numbers, this is a big profit. I mean, it's something really, yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
So also, as far as like the furniture, for example, where to find the furniture?
Yeah.
Online, Amazon, Walmart.com, and Wayfair.
Okay.
That's where I shop.
Very cool. All right, so that's where you get all your furnishing. That's where you kind of decorate, and then you do all the design yourself.
Yes.
So I stayed in a lot of Airbnbs this year. I've been around. One thing I noticed, they all have this little signature, whether it's like a welcome basket or a logo or something. Like they have a name of the house. What is the Kelly Gomez signature that they could find at all these units?
An Instagrammable wall.
Oh,
I like to call it that way.
very cool.
So imagine a space, a dedicated space with a mirror, some lighting, some plants, and every property will vary. I like to change the design. But one specific spot that allows the guest to take a time to appreciate, take a photo, create a memory.
Yeah. So do you have like a never-ending hashtag of just people?
I do not have that. It's a great idea.
You should get a hashtag, and that way it's this
Yes.
huge stream of just
Of course.
Kelly Gomez. Yeah.
And I should maybe even like have it as one
Get
of
your
those
logo,
lighting
yeah,
things.
uh-huh.
I'm gonna do that. Thank
There
you.
you go. I helped out, right?
Yes.
So that's cool. So since 2016, 3.5% gifted down payment, now to 75 units. And I just heard you say, was it you wanted 1,000 units?
Yes.
1,000 units, $1 billion in net worth, and I think you could totally do it. I think you have all
Thank
the drive and the creation. And so one thing before I let you go, having all these units, is it ever a case where like you have family coming? It's like, hey, no one's staying in my unit. Like you have a lot of power with a lot of rooms. Do you ever utilize it, or are you just booked?
No, we do. Yes.
Cool.
Like depending on the property as well. Like there is one of my favorite ones is in Melbourne.
Oh, fun.
And that one is like a bigger home with a pool close to the beach. It fits like 16 people. So that one is the one we usually do our
Oh, okay.
gatherings, like Christmas,
Yeah.
New Year's, my dad's birthday, things
Cool.
like that.
John's
So,
birthday, yeah.
of course. When is your birthday, by
Yeah.
the way?
Yeah, February 25th, so
I'm also February, February 5th.
party at the Melbourne house.
Yes, that's
Yeah,
where we're
all right.
going.
Kelly, thank you for being my guest today. I appreciate it. I'm so impressed. You're doing a great job.
Thank
Keep
you.
up the great work.
Likewise, and I'm also impressed with you guys' growth for real.
Thank you.
And congratulations.
Thank you.
And you're welcome.
Appreciate
and
it.
also, if anybody would like maybe any more tips, or actually, right now what I'm doing is I'm focusing on mentorship. Because my
Very
goal
cool.
is to show other soulpreneurs, I like to call all of us soulpreneurs,
Yeah.
that it is possible and it's easier than we may think.
Yeah.
So if you would like to get started in real estate investments, let me know. You can find me on Instagram as Kelly_Airbnb expert, and I will be happy to schedule a one-on-one coaching meeting with you.
Follow Kelly to achieve the American dream.
Aloha.